The Bitcoin marketing department has been working overtime this week as banks continue to find new and innovative ways to screw their customers. We're seeing negative rates over in Europe being passed on to the average Joe. We're seeing the criminal banks committing bold and incredibly large scale crime over in Australia. PayPal is doing even more financial censorship. And over in Zimbabwe, Zimbabweans are suffering under excruciatingly draconian capital controls. Now, before I jump into today's stories, I want to tell you about this. BlockFi is running a special promotion until the end of the month. You can get $30 in free crypto with BlockFi using the code LARK30 or clicking on the link in the description down below. Now, this is a great way for anyone who has been keen to try out the BlockFi service to get started. You can earn 6.2% on your Bitcoin, 4.1% on your Ethereum, and 8.6% on your USD. To be eligible for the bonus, you must deposit $100 or more. This must be your first time using BlockFi and be your first deposit. You must keep the crypto in your account until January 1st, 2020, and this offer is only valid until December 2nd. So let's start off with Europe, where the first German bank, the Raiffeisen Cooperative Bank in Fürstenfeldbruck, sorry to all the Germans out there in the audience, a bank in Bavaria anyway, has begun imposing a 0.5% negative rate to small savings accounts. The bank said that even the smallest of accounts will be affected. If you have €1, they're coming for you. Now, this is a big change from earlier posturing. The only accounts of €100,000 or more were in the crosshairs for negative rates to be passed on. It's everybody. This is the first bank to go even after the €1 account holder. More will be coming. And I kept saying it was coming, and it started. Of course, they're going to do that. Banks are literally starting to tax you for keeping money in a savings account. I mean, can we even call it a savings account in that situation? It's more like a losings account, really. So much innovation in banking these days. It's crazy. We have late fees, we have withdrawal fees, we have deposit fees, we have card fees, we have exchange fees. All the fees you can get over here, folks. Overdraft fees, late fees, cash fees. So much innovation is happening in banking. It will make your head spin. It's crazy. And now, of course, we have negative interest rates for savers at this one German bank, others to come. Amazing stuff. Interestingly, German banks have been the most active in Europe currently in passing on those negative rates over to savers, but it's gonna spread. Germany is the economic heart of Europe, and what starts there will eventually move elsewhere. How long will regular people sit back and basically watch their wealth have a guaranteed yearly decline? And you can add in on top of this the inflation. So you'll be losing your 0.5% annually, and the average depositor will then also be losing well over 1% of their wealth every year along with inflation. It's crazy stuff. Now, the savvier depositors, they will start getting their money out of the banks, especially as rates continue to fall. Money will go to gold. Money will go into stocks. And yes, money will go into Bitcoin, the unconfiscatable digital gold. The crypto market is so much more lucrative than what banks have to offer these days. Rates on USD, for example, go as high as 12% over on crypto.com and 8.6% over on BlockFi. Sadly, there is not much call for euros in the crypto lending markets at this time. But when you compare it to banks, there's really no competition between them at the moment. The banks are literally robbing you. They're taking your savings. It's nuts. Just holding Bitcoin is all you have to do. Buy and hold Bitcoin. Nothing else is required of you. You have secured your wealth. There is no annual theft with Bitcoin. And providing liquidity to the crypto lending markets, of course, should you be willing to take that risk to reward, these can provide very lucrative returns that are not available really anywhere else in the banking ecosystem. Now let's move on to Australia. A bank called Westpac, Australia's second largest bank, has violated money laundering laws, and not just once Or twice. Oh no, no, no. A whopping 23 million times. 23 million times. So nice to see all that AML, KYC garbage is working so gosh darn well to prevent money laundering. They're able to do it 23 million times. WTF, guys, that's crazy. Westpac reportedly could be fined up to 21 million Australian dollars per breach, although I would imagine that a final settlement will likely see a drastically lower figure targeted at the bank. This is the biggest breach of terrorism financing and money laundering laws in history. And it was not done in some back alley or on the dark web using Bitcoin. Oh no, 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 no. Right through the front door of the bank. Walk in, it's all handshakes and suits and cognac and cigars. That is how money laundering is done. And as insane as this is, and it's pretty gosh darn insane, what really boils my blood is that the corrupt government in Australia is increasingly forcing people to do business with the criminals, or you will be deemed a criminal yourself. Remember, Australia just passed a law that criminalizes cash. A move that many other countries have already made, by the way. So the cash restrictions are happening all over the place. Some countries have much stricter penalties and lower limits, like 2,000 euros or something, I think is in France, and Portugal got very low limits as well, so it's crazy. But in the Aussie context, the punishment for daring to use your own money, over $10,000 that is, to buy a car, or buy a boat, or buy a tractor, or a rare vinyl record, whatever it is you're spending your money on, massive fines and up to 2 years in jail. Now, if you want to make purchases over $10,000, then what you have to do, you have to take your money, go to a bank, keep your funds in the bank. The very same banks that commit crime daily. Westpac is not unique. All major Australian banks have been swept up in massive scandals in the last few years, from doing things like actively working to screw their own customers, to money laundering, and basically every other kind of depravity that you can imagine. These are the people, the institutions that the government is forcing you to keep your money with on the threat of imprisonment. That's a broken system right there. And then you have Bitcoin. You can spend $10, you can spend $10 million. Bitcoin doesn't care. Now, your government still might care what you're doing with your Bitcoin, but at least they can't stop you. And at least you will not be supporting the criminal banking cartels by keeping your money with them. You will be your own bank, and you'll be supporting the Bitcoin network by buying and holding Bitcoin. I wholeheartedly believe that decentralized cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin, by the way, but a whole range of cryptocurrencies, particularly the decentralized finance stuff that we're seeing being built on public networks like Ethereum, they're going to wreck the banks so hard. The banks are just not ready for this kind of competition. It only needs the mass effect behind it. These crooks have benefited from their crime and their corruption and from our complacence for far too long. You buy a Bitcoin, you vote against this system. Another fun, I guess, funny, fun. They're crazy banking stories today for you. This one's out of Hong Kong. HSBC Bank has closed accounts of people linked to the ongoing protests in Hong Kong. It's a good one, HSBC. People fighting for their freedom close their bank accounts. As a quick reminder for you of who HSBC is, in the last few years, HSBC has been caught doing predatory lending, evading taxes, helping others evade taxes, helping for money laundering. Not just any old money laundering. Oh, no. Central American drug lords, terrorists, that's who they're laundering money for. Terrorists and drug lords. So classy, HSBC. Nice. HSBC is about as corrupt and shady as they come. And they have committed every financial crime that you can imagine multiple times. But protesting a corrupt and repressive government, that is where HSBC draws the line in the sand. Oh, no. Murderous drug lords? No problem. You're welcome at HSBC. Actual murderous terrorists? Come on in. Your money's good here. But the average citizen fighting for their human rights and for their freedom? Sorry. We're not going to be able to continue our banking relationship at this time. Shh, banks. Screw that, man. Screw that. Bitcoin is here for the freedom fighters. Bitcoin is the peaceful revolution. Bitcoin will never deny you or break up with you. It's not what Bitcoin does. Now moving on to Zimbabwe. Banks in the country are restricting withdrawals to an unbelievable $20 a week. I'm going to repeat that, $20 a week. That is loco, man. This is all part of the central bank's rollout of its new fiat currency, the first paper garbage money issued by the Zimbabwean central bank in almost a decade. In the intervening time, mobile apps and USD and the South African Rand, and yes, to a small extent, cryptocurrency as well, has come in to fill the void of the missing fiat currency in Zimbabwe. And look, all of those continue to be popular on the black market. So there's that. It's not that people don't have access to any kind of money. The black market fills in. But that being said, $20 a week, oh, that's an unfathomably low number. And that really helps almost no one. What are you going to buy for $20 a week? Especially considering that Zimbabwe has experienced 380% inflation just this year. The government is not your friend. And if you keep your money in a bank, it's just not your money. You can't access it. Anyone who has $10,000 in Zimbabwean bank can get $20 a week out. It's the bank's money now. And you have to be a good little boy or a good little girl to get your money back. Or Bitcoin. You could have Bitcoin, be your own bank, access your funds 24/7, send money to anyone, anywhere without that rapacious middleman screwing you over every time. And finally, more than 100,000 performers who relied on PayPal for their livelihoods were affected by PayPal's decision to end its relationship with the popular adult website Pornhub. In response, Pornhub will likely expand the payout options of their cryptocurrencies. Currently, they just offer Verge. The adult entertainment industry has always been a target for censorship from the banking industry and has had a lot of trouble with the legacy payment networks since, well, basically forever. The beauty of cryptocurrency is that there is no moral police out there judging you for how you choose to make your money. That's up to you. That's up to you. Your money should be agnostic and not be involved in the politics of how you make your money. And the hilarity of the Pornhub story is that banks and PayPal regularly screw everyone. But if you make your money screwing on camera, then PayPal doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Go figure. I, for one, am totally tired of watching banks screw regular people all of the time. Time and time and time again, and there's almost no repercussions for any of these institutions. It's crazy. Bitcoin is an amazing investment, yes. Becoming wealthy from cryptocurrency investing? Awesome! But what really keeps me going is the big picture. The current system is broken, and slowly but surely a new system is rising, and you can be part of that rise. That is why I buy and I hold Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. When I see stories like the ones I have covered here today, I feel more and more compelled to go out and stack sats and chill. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about any of these crazy banking stories down below in the comment section. Of course, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There were more, but to keep the video a reasonable time, I cut some of the less juicy ones out for you. But wow, banks, man, crazy. Anyway, you guys are freaking awesome. So if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.